So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you're listening to this. This is Match BD alongside my critical partner in crime, Ricardo Medina.
Hello, hello, hello.
And this is our post Oscar special episode of BBB RADIO.
Right.
And, as we usually do, it's pretty short. Well, I should say in this case, it's going to be a pretty short episode. Hooray. 'Cause we only have one movie. Well, you have a movie to talk about. And then afterwards, you'll just close things off with our thoughts on the 96th Annual Academy Awards, right? I should say this 96th Academy Awards, because I mean we all know this thing is annual anyway, right?
Right.
Well, I know that you didn't watch the telecast, but I did.
I
It wa-
well, no, I this time actually followed the DT live stream. Live was with them, so I actually kept up with them. So
okay,
I did
okay. Well, that's
somewhat
great.
watch most of it here.
Yeah. Well, I watched it on ABC.
Right.
And it actually started earlier than I expected, though, because I thought that with the clock going back now, with the daylight savings
Right.
ending, I think, or starting, I can't remember.
Right.
That would have started
That threw
8
me off
o'clock.
too. That threw me off too. 'Cause I went to
Yeah.
sleep. I woke up thinking it wouldn't. It no. It's winter starting. I said, oh, the show well within finishing. So like, all right, okay. So I missed. We got miss the best actress, best supporting actress. Sorry. Uh, I
All
missed that.
right. Well, yeah, because
And that's
that
pretty
was the
early.
first award. Yeah,
Right.
that was the first award. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's so funny because I was on Facebook yesterday, just scrolling through, just to see what happening and whatnot. And I just see, oh, this is actually starting earlier than expected. Like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I made sure that I was because I was out actually. I made sure to come back home in time to see this thing, right? So, but we'll get to that later on. But before we begin, man, I did not get a chance to see it because I had just a pretty busy weekend. Kung Fu Panda 4. You,
Sure.
you
Yeah.
you
I
you
saw that a
checked it
couple
out
days ago.
yesterday, or should say a couple days ago.
Yeah, I saw it on
Uh,
Saturday. Yeah.
all right. Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna see it on Sunday, right? Okay. I saw the first three in theaters.
Okay.
Enjoy them for what they were, especially second one. I think the second one is still the best in my opinion. But with the third one, I thought, well, that was it. That was the end. Like we're not gonna do any more of this, right? And then lo and behold, much to our surprise, I think it was late last year we got the first trailer for Kung Fu Panda 4. Or was it early this year? I can't remember. I think it's late last year that we got it, right? And yeah, here we are. It's theatrically released now. You saw it. So yeah, Ricardo, take it away. What was Kung Fu Panda 4 about?
Sure. So Po, being Po, uh, the Furious Five, I forget that's the name, or the Fatal Five, or the Furious Five, or the others, they off on a mission, so none of the voice actors come back there. But Dustin Hoffman comes back, Bryan Cranston comes back, of course Jack Black comes back, uh, and then who was he? Ian McShane, he come back. Yeah, they bring back the old villains for a good reason. So basically, they kind of pushing Po to get get a new um, Dragon Warrior, and then he would effectively become Uguay, the new Uguay, take over Uguay's space. But Poe don't want to do that, and he basically find himself, he kind of dilly dally on that and want to find himself in an adventure involving annoying Asian girl. I forget she name.
Or not Aquafina. She's not
Aquafina,
annoying.
thank you. Yeah,
She's
but
not annoying. Come on.
I mean, she real annoyed. Anyway,
Yeah.
she kind of, well, you'll see, it's a spoiler, but she basically get put to come on an adventure involving a shenanigans character, and basically the main character is, is this chameleon who have the ability to, well, transform into other people, and then she has another ability that's revealed later that she needs the Dragon Warrior for, or at least something the Dragon Warrior owns to do shenanigans, and that is pretty much it. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I was thinking at first, way this could be Toy Story 4 because the first three Kung Fu Pandas a solid business, but it's more like Shrek 4. Um,
Oh wow. Huh.
yeah, it not bad. Like from a technical standpoint, it's good. Like it's one of those things where everything good except for the story. It's like the story normal. Like it's just a normal story. The twist, you saw the twist coming. I kind of mentioned. I think I already say what the twist is. Um, it have a twist. That is it, and it's just a big mentioned storyline involving Poe's arc and what Poe want to become in terms of maturity. Poe's two dads, the biological dad and the adopted dad, back and forth with them. There's a lot of good stuff because they're very heavily involved in the narrative. And yeah, I can't say it's that special mostly because the villain is good but not special or don't connect in any meaningful sense. And then, well, the new character is the Aquafina character kind of fall flat. She's basically this Sly Fox figure that sorry, but Jason Bateman do the Sly Fox thing better than she, right? So that is about it. Uh, it not to say it fun. Like if you like Kung Fu Panda, go see it. It fun, but like it nowhere near as goated as the first two. And I kind of like the third one, but I felt the third one could have done more interesting conceits involving, you know, some of the story beats. But the third one's still even better than this, in my opinion. This is what you're really worried that Kung Fu Panda could have been. Like back when the first Kung Fu Panda came out, I I remember being very dismissive of it. I thought, oh, that's gonna be terrible, and it ended up being great. And then the second one, I was like, oh, they're making a sequel already. All right, it probably gonna suck. No, second one kind of even better in some ways. I would argue. I actually think second one is probably the best one in my humble opinion. But yeah, it's that. You know, go see it. It's fine. Rating. It really serious. It's a super short review. Okay, it had really nothing to say other than going to see it for its showmanship and the like. There were a lot of good, like much like with Toy Story 4, and this is Toy Story 4 at least, had some conceits in terms of like where you're gonna go. Even though I thought Toy Story 3 was like the perfect ending to all of that. Same thing with this, right? Toy Story um 4 just had the technical acumen was really impressive. Everything looked amazing, all the fur and the carpet and all of the rendering and stuff. And it's the same thing with this. The animation in this is amazing. Like it's really amazing, really well done. You know, the best of the best doing the work from a technical standpoint. This is when you really get to see this stuff operate in terms of 3D animation. It looks great. All the set pieces are fun. A lot of the fights are great. Like it have one of the early fights is I was fighting a tavern, but the tavern balancing and everybody had a bounce wrong in weird ways, and it really funny because had this one character they keep telling it's a stir, but it mixing the humor and the comedy and doing the Jackie Chan stuff really well. It have another scene like when the villain revealed himself and it all was said and done and Poe barely escaped. That is really cool, like shadow sequence with it is well as like silhouettes now, because the light shot and it looked great. Everything looked good, act good. All of that, no complaints there. But the story was just blah, right? It wasn't special. I really, really wish and then the way they lean into the new character, you're wondering if it's that kind of person boots thing kind of gonna go on, and I hope they do that because this new character not interesting. Sorry to say it, and I really hope they do like green light any future things with this character. But that's about it. Yeah, rating 6 out of 10. It's fine. Um, it looks good. It's well done, well shot, well everything. Production style, like just watching from a technical standpoint, it's very, very impressive stuff. But yeah, I really wish this had a better through line and good characterization of whatever it is. None of it really works in that sense. It's not bad, but just not great either. And it's just and it is, I will say, the weakest of the Kung Fu Panda franchise to this date. I'll say for me, one is probably the most surprising, so it's the one I like the most. But then two end up becoming this really dark, really interesting story. Three, not super great, but still solid, and because of the main villain, I was he's alright. But then this one just kind of fall flat for me. I don't hate it, but fall flat. Yeah, 6 out of 10. That's how I feel about it.
All right, all right, all right. Well, thank you so much for the review. I guess I'll check it out when it comes out. When it
Yeah,
comes
I mean,
out,
it
sorry,
would.
digitally.
It's not like you'll waste your time or anything like that. It's not like, wait, this is rubbish. Don't waste your time. No, it alright. It just I just really wish that they sit down and think it out a little better than they could have. Yeah, that's about it. That's how I feel about it. It's fine.
And second off, or I should say last but not least, let's talk about the awards, man. Let's talk about the
Sure.
96 Academy Awards, man. You know, which aired last night on ABC, right? Um, so what we'll do, in the process of just talking about how the show was, and you'll do a review of it. Well, you'll just give like a final rating and whatnot because why the hell not? You just run through just the winners, right? So to start off with the host itself, right, Jimmy Kimmel. He did his thing, right? He
Yeah.
wasn't totally annoying. It's just
I
that
I thought he was terrible.
I just
I
find
thought he
like
was fine.
Okay, well, I imagine a lot of people felt the same way, right?
He
But
wasn't as bad
look,
as was the guy from the other thing, Joe Coy, whoever it was. But you still, I thought Jimmy Kimmel was just terrible. Like all this material, it just feels so tired. Like really, you're still doing this way, the same
mm,
steel jokes way. Yeah, he could have do better material. Like it had a couple of okay bits and thing, but like overall, I thought he was terrible, pretty
well,
bad. Like, they need to switch up.
yeah,
And why am I so fed up with him? Because he is the same bits now. That's my problem with him. However,
yeah. No,
his
well,
style of humor is you get
I
old. Yeah,
yeah, I understand, man. It's
yeah,
just that I felt like with the opening sequence, right? And
yeah,
that's right after the little, after the visual intro, which was pretty cool, and it's kind of funny how they incorporate his image, sorry, into the famous Barbie scene where
right,
Margot Robbie's character sees the old woman. That was cool. That was cool. But yeah, I thought that his opening stand-up sequence, if you will, or performance, if you will, went on, or at least felt a tad bit too long. It just went on for about 10 minutes straight.
right.
I just, all right, oh, this guy, and hey, Robert Downey Jr. I'll get to him in a bit, right? Even point out Bradley Cooper say, hey, you're there with your mom. Oh, like every award show, you're always there with your mom. So is it that she's like your date everywhere you go, some shit like that. Um, even throw kind of a pot shot at Robert Downey Jr. talking about, how he was able, like how he stuck with his career so much that he was able to get nominated, right? But he kind of mentioned his drug fuel past there. So there's a moment
Right,
where he kind of touches nose now,
right.
and it kept cutting back at Robert Downey Jr. And him being him with the swaminess, kind of just sort of smiling and just sort of like kind of playing along with the joke that we could tell is like, all right, motherfucker, just stop it. You're
You're
kind of
right. Wrap it
embarrassing
up. Yeah,
yourself, right? Just wrap
yeah.
it up. And
That's what
yeah,
I'm saying. I find the humor just really weak though. Like it's just he trying a bit and then it going on too long now. Same thing with the John Cena thing. Like, all right,
oh, I will talk about the Cena thing.
I thought that was terrible. I really thought they would do an invisibility joke, like the meme now. But no, it's
uh,
just
okay,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, moving on.
Yeah, moving
Whatever.
on. All right,
Yeah.
so I will just read it. I will just read off the winners as shown on ABC.com's website, right? So they started off with original screenplay, so we'll start with that, right? Anatomy of a Fall won for best original screenplay. Much to my
Right.
surprise, I was rooting for Past Lives because
Okay.
that was my favorite film out of all five of these. But I'm glad that Anatomy of a Fall went something, man. I'm really really glad. I don't know if you saw it, but it's really really worth checking out. I do
Right.
like that for the entrance music, right? The orchestra music, they actually play 50 Cent's PIMP. If you saw the movie, you'll know why they did that.
Right. Yeah.
That was really clever. I like that, right? What I want to talk about, though, just quickly, is the winner for best adapted screenplay. That would
Right.
be American Fiction. That
Right.
caught me completely by surprise. Like in my head, I was thinking, all right, Oppenheimer fit now. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I was also thinking that poor things could win, because because I didn't the reason why I didn't get to watch any movies, any new movies I should say, before coming to the show here, is because I took the time, the night before the Oscars, to watch Poor Things. Like I finally sat down and watched it, right?
Right.
I'll get to my thoughts on that in a bit, right? But yeah, I was surprised that American Fiction won, and it was written by the director himself, Cord Jefferson, right? um Even though I just kind of paraphrase what he said with his acceptance speech, but that speech to me is one of the biggest takeaways out of it, right? Because
Right.
I just like how he came into it, just like, look, yo, I did not expect that I was actually gonna win this thing, but I did. But I just letting you all know that it have a lot of people out there that who want that opportunity that I have right now. You know what I mean? Not just to make a film like this, but to get nominated for it, right? And he says, well, basically, he say, you take the risk. Well, he says a risk averse industry, right? But
Yeah. Yeah.
$200 million movies are also a risk, but you take the risk anyway. So instead of making one $200 million movie, make
Yeah.
20 $10 million movies or 50 $4 million movies.
Right.
I was like,
Exactly.
that's great though, you know what I mean? And because why I'm saying this too, right, is because I know that there's a lot of people who kind of look at, like the Oscars and be like, oh gosh, it's just all these like fancy big budget movies, and this got nominated for this and whatever, whatever. But something as, I don't want to say indie, but really small budget, low budget, sorry, as American Fiction got recognized. That's a
Yeah.
big deal, right? Yeah, so somebody like him winning is a big deal, and I hope that future indie filmmakers or up and coming filmmakers can look at this win and be like, "Hey, this could
No,
happen to me too,"
I mean, yeah, it was a, but we call them Blumhouse mats it, like regardless how you feel
Yeah,
about it, Blumhouse kind of mats that. He's like, look, just give money a 5 million. Nothing should be above a 5 million, and you see what you could do with that. Die in bad. And you tell a story, and we understand why it is that movies is be so ridiculous now. Like why it is the movies be so inflated and bloated and whatever it is. And in this year in particular, it was bad. Atman and Secret Invasion was ridiculous,
or you mean
absolutely
last year?
ridiculous.
Last year, okay. Well,
Well,
well, last year
this
films,
the year of films now,
right?
right? From Alaska now, yeah. But this year, yeah, this year in particular was particularly bad. Like it was what? How was all of this Flash? Because the problem with these movies is that they not only they're bloated on their own conceit, but it is like they almost entirely rely on reshoots. So it's be like
Yeah.
two, three movies in one movie effectively, That way these movies will be so expensive too. Because they had to do it over and then they want to scrap this and they do it over and then they don't do the work and then they still run down a bunch of work just getting put on the floor and it's nonsense now because it's kind of ridiculous that what do you call it, the Denzel Washington's son, David Washington, his movie is cheaper
Or
than
the
most of these
creator,
movies.
the
Huh?
creator,
Yeah, the
yes,
creator.
yeah.
And it looking better than most of those movies and cheaper. I mean, that is a little ridiculous. That is
Yeah.
ridiculous. So yeah, I mean, you don't have to spend that much money on these movies. It's not that expensive. I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of hidden economics that are sure this come into play. But I feel most of it just be scamming and bullshit. To be honest, a perfect example, and well, is the movie that kind of inspired me to try to get into film, District 9, right? District 9 looks amazing. Right? It was dirt cheap. Again,
Yeah.
hidden costs. It had a bunch of reasons why it was relatively cheap. When you get into the history of that's an overstated case, but you get the point, right? Yeah, I glad that he said that at the Oscars of all places. Good, because
Yes.
yeah, you need to dial back the shit now. We can tell so many good stories, without all the special effects and pomp and circumstances. And you don't need to do that. Everybody know how to play that game now. But it remind me of that cynical bit from the critic where apparently studios is deliberately hide good scripts and then they will throw out the crap to
Oh,
make money. Yeah, that
right.
nonsense now. So whatever. But yeah, I mean, to me, to me, other people kind of match this already. You know, uh, um, A24 and Blumhouse match it. Like, and I hope we get more studios like that. As I said, the trick to there's a whole statement. The trick to art is either you have no money, you get them a little bit of money, or you get them so much money that it don't matter, right? As the trick to art. So the problem is that when it burning out money and you're half-assing it now. That's why right now what Apple and Amazon is the two best streaming service because they don't have to cater to bullshit now. They just the
Yeah. Yeah.
money
Yeah.
don't matter and they'll cater to art and so you can look good. You don't have to spend too much money and you get something in between now. It is a weird time right now with Hollywood. Like it's a super weird time, especially with all of this scare tactics over AI and all of this nonsense now. But whatever. I'm very glad he also made that speech. That was a good speech. Very good. More people need
Yeah,
to
yeah,
like
and it's
cater to
certainly
that.
one that I'll be going back to, and just like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I need to remind myself of this ever so often, man. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. Tell a story. You
Right.
don't have to do no big budget. You could put that in your head too, but you could also have small stories. I have ideas for small stories. I have ideas for big stories, and yeah, he movie was a perfect balance of that. The movie had the message itself, right? Good stuff.
Yeah, agreed, agreed.
Yeah,
But yeah, again, I was totally surprised that he won. Because I
yeah.
was rooting for Oppenheimer, right? But I'm glad
Okay,
that that
right.
Cord won and he was able to deliver such a
I
really
had I
inspirational
had
speech,
him
man.
as I had him as number two. So Oppenheimer, I thought would I get through, but I had him as number two. He was very close second, and so it wasn't a big surprise. Him getting through.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
nice. All right. Speaking of the creator, it did not win Best Visual Effects. Much
Right.
to my surprise, honestly, Godzilla minus one won. Yeah, I
Yes.
mean,
Glad. Very
yeah.
good news. That
So
was great.
so
Now again,
finally
not a surprise
in
either, but
the
yeah.
uh, yeah, so
Yeah, go ahead.
finally in the since when? Since 1954, since the first Godzilla movie was made, now finally it get Oscar recognition, right? But look at
Yeah,
that,
for
right?
real.
But two things though, and I made this joke. Well, not even a joke, just a general question on Facebook. All right, so now that this movie won Best Visual Effects, we could get to see it in local
For
cinemas,
real. I ain't sure that, right?
or is
Yeah.
it that because at the end of this month we getting Godzilla X Kong, right?
Right.
So I just they're like, all right, well we could see Godzilla minus one first, you know what I mean? But here's the thing, is an excuse that I know will spring up from that question, and is a excuse that I hate so much. Oh, it in Japanese and in subtitles, nobody want to come and see that.
The thing is, they didn't have
Like his
like
Godzilla,
this cinema
like his
one. Here's my
Godzilla.
thing,
Come
eh?
on, bro.
Cinema one didn't have some anime the other day. Um, or whatever it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Some
Demon
what you call
Slayer.
it?
Yeah, Demon
Demon
Slayer,
Slayer,
right?
right? So like, come on, please. If they could show
Yes.
that, and Godzilla was
Oh, but
much more.
that's an
I'm pretty sure
anime.
more popular
That's
than Demon Slayer.
different. You know what I mean?
Whatever.
And look, I have seen a couple of kung fu flicks. I saw the first Ip Man, and it was in Chinese. All right.
Yeah,
So don't come and
exactly.
say, "Oh, people not going to now watch no Japanese language movie." By
Yeah,
show the
no.
damn movie now. You know what I mean? Because I'm saying this too because it's taking forever and a day to come out digitally, right? But
Yeah,
anyway,
for real.
no points at all for that acceptance speech, though. I mean, I feel it for the guy. I was just kind of glancing at it, right? But I was just watching the guy, and he had this paper, and he was just reading out names. He was about
Yeah,
to
that
like
rough though.
give this thing, like he was reading it out now. I know the man was nervous or whatnot, right? But goddamn, Dread, he had to
Yeah, nah.
spring in the wrap it up music, but like, come on,
Yeah,
man.
nah.
He even give the man like 4 minutes. He just did like,
No,
and I remember
my
what
thing
you said
is,
last
yes,
year
yes,
with
yeah, what they
oh,
need to
they
do,
got
eh?
busted through to know, they got busted
Yeah,
through to
no,
know.
that
I
fella,
know that was what you said last year.
stop. These people need to stop catering to English, right? We call him Bog Juho, I think, make that point. He's like, yeah, you can take 2 seconds to like read subtitles. Just say it in Japanese. Fuck them. Let them translate after the
You
fact.
know?
Do yourself
Yeah,
extra
yeah,
activity. You
yeah.
don't win the damn award. You don't need to say nothing in English. You know how to learn English. Don't do nothing. Just say the damn thing in Japanese. Yell out all your friends and your brethren and them, and then get off. Enough.
Or just get one of the other people. 'Cause I don't think anybody else spoke. No, actually somebody else came in and said something and
Right.
left. But again, I was just sort of glancing at it, right? But yeah, when I hear the wrapped up music, like, geez, man, like let the man finish
Nah,
read
they can't do that. They
the
can't do that. My thing is just don't talk in English. Talk your language. Tell it quick and then say thank you. So that all we know. All right, thank you. Good. Move it on.
yeah. Right. Best sound by I
Right.
was rooting for Oppenheimer, but the
Right.
zone of interest won. And here's
Right.
the thing,
Not surprised.
I don't know if you saw it, but
Right.
I thought that win was rightfully deserved, man. Because
Right.
yeah, the movie itself is based on sound, right? You know,
Yeah. No. Yeah.
that's
What you
part
described
of the
to
film
me.
itself.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. What you described to me was the whole. You're hearing stuff in the background and in the distance, and so yeah, not surprised. Could use it
Yeah,
creatively
but
to tell the narrative now.
that's
Not
right,
just a
that's right.
technical skill.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So yes, why we could praise Oppenheimer for how great it sounded when we saw it in cinema. Yeah, I mean the mere fact that the zone of interest was built around sound design to begin with, like that was part of what the movie's about. Yeah, it's a worthy win, man. So I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all for that, right? Best short film live action, not surprised. The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar.
Right.
And
Yeah.
this
Like
is
that's true.
actually the first Oscar win
Yes,
for
it's
Wes
Wes
Anderson, and
Anderson's
the
first
man didn't
win.
even show up because he's
Wow.
Wes
Yeah.
Anderson. Yeah, he didn't show up. You know, he probably like working. I think Jimmy make a joke about that afterwards, but yeah, he probably like working on the next film, like some big set or some kind of thing. He probably designing or whatever, right? Um, have not seen the best short film animated. That will be
Right.
well the winner. Sorry, that will be War is Over, inspired by the music of John and Yoko. But I
Okay.
watched just like a couple of shots of that. That should look great though. And well, I just heard from the guy from the filmmakers. Sorry, who accepted the award. Yeah, they get Weta Studios to work on that. But
Right.
I'm like, what? Okay,
Right.
well, I mean, I want to see that because from what I saw, that should look real dope, right? Production design, yeah, poor things, man. And
Right.
haven't seen it. I was like, yeah, I,
Yeah.
I
No.
can't be mad at that at all. Yeah, that show looked great. That's just how colorful and imaginative and just weird. You know what I mean? That world of poor things was right. Much easier, right? Best original song, no surprise. What was I made for
Right.
from
Bobby. Right.
Billy
Yeah.
and yeah, Billie Eilish and Phineas O'Connell.
Okay.
Um, it's the most heartfelt song out of the movie and soundtrack. So it deserves the win, right? But just to touch quickly on two more fire performances. I know I'm not talking about the Flaming Hot song, the Fire Inside from Becky G, right? That was cool, but I saw Flaming Hot and I was like, oh, that was a cool movie. All right, but all right, you're gonna nominate that song for best original song? Okay, whatever. Whatever. Yeah. First off, the performance from Killers of the Flower Moon, that's the song that plays during
Right.
the end credits, a song for my people. I thought that performance was great though. It's the Osage Nation, some representatives, and they were just there
Right.
like banging the drums and just doing the chants and whatnot. I think if I'm not mistaken, that's like the first time in Oscar history that we saw something like that. I think that's great too because last year we had the RRR song, right, which
Right.
won,
Right.
and that was like the first time, at least in my memory, that I saw like an Indian song being performed on stage for the Oscars.
Right.
So that's really cool though, in terms of just representation of different cultures and whatnot, right? But the highlight as far as music goes, of course, was "I'm Just Ken." You know me, which
Right.
Ryan Gosling
Yeah, I saw
performed.
that. Right.
I thought that yeah, he did a great performance with it, right? Um, not all the notes he hit, but I was like, you know what, whatever, right? There's Ryan Gosling, the man just selling. It's just a humorous performance. That's what he does, and I just love that he was just having a blast with it. He actually got some of the cast members to show up as well too, because I saw
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw three of them.
I
The Doctor
Simi
Who,
Lou and
Similu,
oh
right,
gosh,
and
and
Benari,
um yeah, what Kingsley Benadir was there and a couple other
Benadir.
people
Right.
too. Like
Sorry.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was theatrical. That's what I love about it. You have the
Yeah.
guys
It's
dressed up
good.
with the top hats, very
Yeah, you get the
40
three. You get
42nd
the
Street
fellow played
style.
Doctor Who as well. Kuti.
Oh, him. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
he
yes,
was
yes.
there.
I
Yeah,
noticed that. Yeah, yeah.
new Doctor Who. Yeah.
And yeah, overall, it was just fun. It was just a blast. And this last point, I love how near the end, Ryan went up and well, right up to it was Kate McKinnon. Who else was it? It was Kate McKinnon, Margot Robbie, and Greta Gerwig, and had them, singing like the last
Yeah.
lines of the song. So he had them be part of the song too. There's a moment where he actually pull one of the cameramen onto the stage.
Right. I
That
saw
was
that.
really cool though. But yeah, yeah, yeah. That performance is the best of the night, hands down. Second place, of course, is that performance from Killers of the Flower Moon, right? So, agree to disagree.
Yeah.
All right, so up next we have Best Original Score. Not surprised, Oppenheimer. My boy
Right.
Ludwig Göransson won.
Yeah.
Ludwig is destined to be an OG. He's destined to be, our generation's Hans Zimmer, I'm calling that right now. And yeah, I
Right.
was happy that the man won, man. I was really, really happy that it won, right? Best makeup and hairstyle, and much of my surprise, poor things. But then again, having seen it, recently, I was like, yeah, 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 like that,
No, yeah,
that,
Paul, I
that
think it was
these
pretty
are
good,
the,
you know.
yeah,
None of
yeah.
its wins are that surprising, you
Especially
know.
with
Yeah.
yeah, especially with Willem Dafoe's makeup though, like just
Yes,
the sort
that
of
looked good.
Frankenstein makeup that looked
Yeah,
fantastic. I love that.
because it
Yeah,
looked it off, but you can't tell it's still within the face. It had that like it looked realistic, but not like, that balance. No.
yes, yes, exactly. Almost like the skin was going to come off, but not
Yeah.
really. It's a weird mix that they do here.
Yeah, it looks
I
like the actual bone is off now because it's like it because of Willem Dafoe's mouth, like it fit the makeup perfectly now. So it look real.
Yeah, exactly. To be honest, I was rooted for Maestro, but
Okay.
nah, it didn't win. Matter of fact, Maestro didn't win anything last night, right?
Yeah, that got shut out.
And another show got shut out, but we'll get to
Right.
that near the end, right? We'll get to that.
Right.
Best international feature film, I called it The Zone of Interest. I was happy for
Right.
that. I'm glad that Jonathan Glazer, brought up, what's going on with the Israel Hamas war. He mentioned that
Right. Right.
in his acceptance speech or whatnot.
Right.
Again, I just can't recommend that show enough. Though it's fantastic, right? Best film editing, called it Oppenheimer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jennifer
No
Leem,
surprise.
one for that. No surprise. Love the editing in that. Documentary feature film, called it 20 Days in Mariupol.
Right.
The director came up and gave a great speech, in relation to why he made the film and what the show is about and whatnot. And it was poignant, but it really really hit the nail though in terms of just how serious, yeah, that whole war is between Ukraine, the Ukraine, sorry, and Russia, right? And fun fact, this is actually the first Ukrainian film to win an Oscar, period, right? So look at that. So best costume design, poor things. And now
Right.
we'll just take a little segue now to talk about the John Cena presentation. So
Right.
it's how they set it up too, right? Because
50th
oh
anniversary.
gosh,
Right.
Jimmy was talking about, yeah,
Right.
about the 50th anniversary, about some guy who was
The
streaking
Shrieker. Yeah.
during when yeah, streaker, when David Niven of all people came out to present the award, right? So but it's how they set up to is like, all right, you kind of know what was gonna happen, but you just didn't know who was gonna be. So is Jimmy saying, I just hope that some naked guy comes and does the same thing.
Right.
I said I hope a naked guy comes and do the same thing, and then he looks like, come on, right? And then you see Cena poke his head out. Everybody like, oh shit, and people
Yeah.
cracking up,
The
right?
bit went on too long.
And yeah, it
Enough.
was it was It,
Too long.
it, it was like the build up to it, like, I don't want to go out there. That was funny. When he actually went out there, it's like, all right, we really doing this,
Here's the
okay.
thing, eh?
But
The
you could
idea I
tell that he
had,
really did have something underneath it.
right? No, what I thought they would have done is they would have done the whole "you can't see me" meme thing now. So he would have like walk out casually, and then they would have see him, and then that's the joke they would have go with. I don't know. That's just me. Well, like you would go out and act as if nobody's seen him. I don't know. Well, it
Uh-huh.
does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by the whole invisible thing. Okay, I got it.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
but it's sensationalism, and it's like, oh my god, you know what I mean? But what I thought honestly was just that he was going to be in this skin tight rubber suit.
Or something. Right.
So the suit itself is naked, right? So you see everything, right?
Right.
But the whole thing with him having to cover his private parts because, with the card is like, with the envelope, so it's like, okay, like we get it, right? And even
I
funnier
thought.
that
Yeah.
right
As I
after
said.
that presentation, Dwayne Johnson and Bad Bunny, Bad Bunny, I feel probably do this so he could kind of hook up with The Rock and be like, hey, give me some WrestleMania. Sorry, give me some WrestleMania tickets now. Like hook me up now. I fucks with WWE too. You know what I mean? I fought, in that one match, whatever. Yeah,
Right. Oh,
that's why I feel he was there. But I just find it funny that The Rock show up right after Cena do this thing, right? So that was
right.
funny to me. But last point on the whole costume design thing. Having seen poor things now, I know I just keep building up, right? But trust me, I'll get to my point with the whole poor things build up, right? Yeah, that oddly enough, that presentation was really fitting, but you know what I mean, given the content that show had, right? But more on that
Right.
in a bit, right? But yeah, poor things win. I was like, hey, cool, yay, you know what I mean? Best cinematography was Oppenheimer. Shout out
Yep.
to
No
Hoyt van
surprise.
Hoytema. Yeah, he
Right.
he he killed it. You know what I mean? I was happy for him. And I mean that show looked gorgeous in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
Best animated feature film by The Boy and the Heron, Hayao
Right.
Miyazaki.
Not
I
surprised
was
here. Not
happier,
surprised.
but apart from I
I
was
had
like,
it. I
I
had it
was still
as
rooting for Spider-Man across the Spider
yeah,
Verse.
exactly. I had it as my number two, but I wasn't surprised because like is Miyazaki. I mean, come on. I mean, it's not a
It's
surprise.
Miyazaki. That's
It's
why.
Miyazaki. Come
Yeah,
on. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
So
Even though it's
yeah.
not
So
Miyazaki better,
all right.
but yeah.
All right. Well. So I've heard, right? So a couple things, right? So, and just like similar to Godzilla, I make the joke and say, yeah. So now that movie won, can we please get it in local cinemas? Because like, dog, like, why we didn't show that down here? Again, is it because it's in Japanese and nobody will sit down with Japanese? And then we had Demon Slayer just like a couple weeks ago. Oh, actually, fun
Right.
fact, still in theaters right now, right? At the time of us
Yeah,
recording this,
exactly.
right? But it can't show you a Miyazaki film. I don't even think a Miyazaki film is ever shown in cinema, local cinemas. Princess
Okay, I don't know.
Mononoke, Spirited Away, none of them shown. None of
Okay, I
them.
can't tell.
Like, like,
I
like,
remember
like,
watching
what's with the
stuff like
hate, bro?
Mononoke
What's
and
with the hate,
Spirited
bro?
Away in Anime Fest stuff, but not whatever. Moving on.
Or in one of those anime cons. I saw them on
Exactly.
cable
I just watch
actually.
it as a movie
I don't
there.
think I
So
saw
whatever.
them in anime. Yeah, but like you can't show it in cinema where it needs to be shown. But whatever, right? And then the other thing I want to mention, apparently, the star of Across the Spider Verse, Shamik Moore, was kind of like bitching about how Spider Man lost Boy the Heron, and then like afterwards he's like, you know what, like, I'm sorry, boy, but I was just like he went up on Twitter and say that he was like they robbed, like Spider Man was robbed or something, like something
Well,
along that line. I don't know the full details, but like, all right,
whatever.
Shamik Moore, just like
Yeah, chill
focus
yourself.
on beyond the Spider Verse now. You know what I mean? Chill, chill,
Yeah.
chill. Like,
No, my
it's
thing
an
is that
OG man. Like
I had it.
respect to the
I
OGs there.
Yeah, exactly. I had it as my number one, but Spider Verse is my number one. Heron was number two. So it's like whatever. When the number two win, it's like okay, fine. I don't have a problem with that.
Right, exactly. So now for the heavy hitters now, right? So best supporting actress, this was actually the first nominee, well, the first nomination, sorry, of the night. I called it Devine Joy
Right,
Randolph for the
right,
holdovers.
right.
Her acceptance speech was great. Just how she was
Yep.
crying and talking about she publicists and all that drama. That was cool. Jimmy had to kind of poke fun of that too, like, oh, what's the publicist's name? Give me the publicist's name,
Dude, I so
right?
sick of Jimmy's so
Even
unfunny,
though
yeah, Judd. Jimmy's so unfunny this today. And no, I thought it have somebody else who should do it next year, hopefully, with John Mulaney. But Jimmy was just incredibly unfunny. Like,
yes,
let's take it there. The thing with John Mulaney, the thing with Jimmy is that he just barely tolerable to it and not just outright get mad now. But he like Jimmy, that was just like really you could have write something better than that, Jared. Holy shit, Jared.
Yeah, well, that I kind of felt the same way too. Like like he not piss him off, but at
Yeah.
times it could be like, all right, just get to the next presenter, please. Just get to
Yeah.
it, please, or her, please. Stop kind of stretching out. Oh, what's your publicist's name? And we should kind of just give the publicist our publicist names. Ha ha ha. Right? Nobody
Yeah.
cares, right? They do a thing, right? Which I know some people have issues with, but I didn't mind. I understand the is how special it is and how heartful it is. So you had previous winners in that category show up, and
Right,
each
right, right,
one
right.
kind of give praise to a
Man, they just do
nominee.
that all the time.
That was cool. That was cool.
They just
No,
do that
no.
all the
Well, this
time.
is the first time. This is the first time I've seen that.
Really?
No, what they
I swear they
usually
do
do
that
is
sometimes.
they will have a person. Well, or I'll say they will have two or one presenter who won an
Okay.
award recently in that category show up, and then you'll talk about how big of how big of a deal uh
Okay.
that actor is, supporting actor
Yeah.
or whatever it is, and they just kind of talk about how big of a deal it is and how it
Right.
adds to the film, right? But yeah, this is the first time where you had five winners show up to praise the five nominees, and I
Right.
could see some
Okay.
people kind of looking at that like, all right, you kind of stretch it out to gosh, we get all right,
No, I
cool,
thought
but
that was
I
alright.
thought it was cool. It was nice.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
it
good.
was
Yeah.
nice. It was nice. Nice. Although I was rooting for McGill Daniel Brooks to win, another
Okay.
black
Right.
woman won, so I can't be mad at that at
No,
all. I can't be mad at
I
that at
had
all, right?
Devine, I had Devine as that she was my number one. So it's like, yeah, not surprised. I voted for her. So
Right.
it's like, alright, cool.
As far as best supporting actor, no surprise, Robert Downey Jr. We called
Yep.
it, me for
Well, boy.
Oppenheimer.
So yeah,
And
what was that? I couldn't find the gift for it, but I tried to do the whole Iron Man um,
yeah,
from
yeah, Iron Man
from Spider.
from
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
from
exactly.
Spider-Man
Yeah,
Homecoming.
Homecoming.
Yes, yes,
Right.
yes. You sent me that clip.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really pick up on everything that he was saying in that acceptance speech. Like he was doing the
Right.
whole Swami kind of, not being an asshole, but kind of being
Right.
assholish in a way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's so Robert Downey Jr. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But again, I just glad that he won because I thought that he
Right.
crushed it in
Because
that one, right?
I had
And
him. He was my number
shout out to
one.
Robert De Niro too because I thought that he was
Right.
great.
Right. Exactly.
For
Because I had
Killers.
him, but
Yeah.
Robert De Niro was my number two. Right. Because the rule of thumb is this, right? If you have somebody, here's why they get it from me. The rule of thumb is that they will. I'm still in. K Brown was a close third, though, by the way. But uh, how I think of
Okay.
how I
Still
think
have.
of
Oh yes, yes, for American Fiction, right?
yeah. No, but why it work is that the rule of thumb, simple rule of thumb. You have a very famous face, and it disappear into the role, right? Robert Downey Jr. really disappear into the role. At no point throughout watching our movie, I was thinking,
He
boy,
did.
Robert Downey Jr. boy, yeah, Iron Man boy. No, the man
Yeah.
feel like Louis Strauss.
Yeah.
Man really feel like it. He nail it. They take it.
Yes.
And the same for Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro disappear into the role. That's why I didn't really feel Leona because it was still I'm looking at Leona. That's the difference. So yeah, that's why I
Mm.
totally deserve it, and I call that one from a long time. So yeah, cool.
Yeah. Also, I just find it funny that Christoph Waltz was the one who had to oh
All right.
gosh, praise Ryan Gosling's performance
Don't get
in
anything, eh?
Barbie.
Somebody
That's just funny
who
to
it
me.
is who say something and it really sound like if he kind of make a mistake and say the bad word already now. With Robert Downey. Well, I thought Robert De Niro win now. Who it was, boy? Was the other? Was the five on stage there?
Oh gosh. Oh gosh, Sam Rockwell, cause he introduced,
Right,
he praised Robert Downey.
right,
I can't remember who talked for Mark Ruffalo and Sterling K. Brown. I know we boy Marsha Ali was the one who present for him, right?
right, right,
But I don't remember the full lineup. I don't remember the full lineup. Yeah,
right. But
but
if
I
other
think
guy would
yes,
say
yes,
something,
yes.
he slip up.
Somebody said a Robert, and everybody thought it was De Niro. It's like, oh
No,
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 no, no,
no. He was talking.
Downey
He was talking to
Jr.
the mirror, and he said winner. And I was like, why would he say that though?
Oh,
he
okay,
said
okay,
he said
okay.
he
All
deserved
right,
to win now.
I'll have to look back for that
Like
clip.
if he do already now. And
Right.
like, oh well, what I'm there, boy. And it make me think, oh shit, Robert De Niro got win though. I like, all right, shit. But yeah. RDJ
Yeah.
deserve it. Totally deserve it. Really good performance. He
Yes,
really
yes, yes.
disappeared into the role. I thought he was excellent. Really great.
Yes. And also Mark Ruffalo's nomination was much deserved as well too. Yeah,
Yeah, agreed.
he was
Yeah,
hilarious in Poor Things, right?
yeah,
But we'll
yeah.
get to that in a bit. Actually, we'll get to that right now, Dre, because
Right.
for me, and I'll explain why. Upset of the night for me,
Yeah, agreed.
Best
Yeah.
Actress went to Emma Stone.
Right.
And I'll explain why. So for me, I just have a bias because, all right, so I will confess, just to get to the porting stuff now, right? I literally saw Poor Things the night before the Oscars. Something told me I need to watch that. So when I go into the Oscars, I could be like, wow, it won something. I now want to see it because it won this. I wanted to go in knowing that it was going to be nominated for XYZ, right? Um, I really enjoy that film though. It is so weird and batshit crazy, but it has a lot
Yeah,
of heart. It has a lot to say about gender politics and just society and all that kind of stuff is great, right? It is very, very, very weird and out there, and I praise Yorgos for his vision with that. Yorgos Lanthimos for his vision for that, right? His best director nomination was deserved as well, too, right? As far as Emma Stone goes, right? Yes, she won an Oscar before for La La Land, right? I remember that was you saying yes, she didn't deserve that because you didn't care for her
right.
performance there, right? I felt like with Poor Things, yes, she went above and beyond the call of duty to she gave her all with it, right? But I think it's because I didn't get time to sit with it as compared to who I was rooted for. That would be
Right.
McGill, Lily Gladstone. Because yeah, I was just able to sit down with that performance and really think about it. And then when I saw it again, I was like, yeah, boy, like she should really, win, right? But because I saw Emma's performance once, and because she just was
Right.
so over the top now, I was like, I don't know, but I could see why the
Yeah.
Academy would pick her,
Right.
because of how far she went with it, right? That being said, though, I don't want to come off as a prude or whatnot, right? But I know there will this win will spark some controversy.
I
I
can
think
imagine
is
that.
because of the performance itself and what she did in the film, right? So
Right.
without spoiling
No, it's
much,
it's
yeah,
it's
there's some really like strong sexual content in it, right?
right.
And she is she's front and center in it. And yeah, in terms of front, yeah, you are seeing front
Right.
on
Right. Right.
the teacher. I'm like,
No,
wow, Emma,
yeah.
okay, wow, okay, right?
No. But
But
the thing is,
yeah,
it's I can
go on,
imagine.
sorry.
The thing, yeah, no. To me, it's yeah, again for a lot of people, I can imagine it's a color purple thing all over again, right? Um,
Uh-huh.
it's like the old one, and so I
Okay.
really thought that Lily would have get it now, but Emerson was my number two. Um, and I said I make the joke she
Right.
deserved to win this time. That's the joke.
Yeah.
Because
Mm-hmm.
I will still
Yeah.
die on this hill. She did not deserve to win. She was literally the worst in the category back when she won the first time. To me, that is still bullshit. But whatever. She won this time, so it's like
Yeah.
it's fine. And she was my number two after Lily. So yeah. But yeah, I
Okay.
really, it was really upset because I really thought Lily would have won that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I know that had me thinking now because this is Lily's first nomination as
Yeah.
best actress. I'm now wondering if it's like the same thing with Coleman Domingo, for example, with best actor. If
Right.
it's he's a first timer, all right, well, cool. Well, just build your
That is
career a little
exactly
bit
the
more.
situation.
Sign a few more films, and then
Right.
then we will give you that award, right? Because it was something similar to Emma Stone. She had to work her way up before she won for
Exactly.
La La Land. Like
Right.
previous to that, she was in Birdman. I thought that she was great in Birdman, right? But I don't
Right.
think she won for that. I can't remember if she was nominated for that, right? But yeah, she had to work her way up to win this, both awards, right? But Lily is like, all right, well, first time thing now, so you'll get back to you. It kind of feels like that, but I don't know. For me, because I love Killers so much, Killers of the Flower Moon so much, I was really rooted for her to win, right? But I'll talk about Killers of the Flower Moon at the very end. But I'm not mad that Emma win. Again, Emma put everything, like literally everything, on the line for that performance. It was hit or miss, but it was really a hit. Um, but again, I know a lot of people, and it's really people who either turned off by that content. I understood it in the context of the show. Like, all right, so I don't want to sell myself out, but kind of plays out more like you're watching some kind of like French erotic film from the 70s, but
Right.
in a warped, weird sci-fi version, courtesy of Yorgos Lanthimos. Like those moments kind of felt like that. The whole sexual awakening kind of stuff. That's what it was.
Right.
But I didn't expect they would have go that far there. It didn't go too far, but I didn't know it was going to go far at all, right? But again, I can imagine some people thinking about those moments and saying, well, that if that's what counts to being a best actress, well, you know what I mean. But
Right.
nah, I mean Emma really acted her ass off with that show though. So yeah, she win. But I was rooting for Lily, man. Like Lily should
Yeah.
have win, man. God damn it, you know what I mean. But yeah, it is what it is, right? So hopefully if Lily keep it up. And it's so funny, right? Because during the telecast, ABC, either ABC or Hulu, 'kay, yeah, they were showing some Hulu ads, right? They were advertising some kind of new murder mystery show starring Academy Award nominee Lily Gladstone, and in my
Right,
mind, I was
right, right.
telling myself, if she won, maybe they'll just re-release the that same
Yeah, Adam
trailer
Gunnar. Yeah,
with
yeah.
a Academy Award winner. But it's like,
Well,
nope,
there's a quick
sorry,
edit.
we can't do
There's
that.
a quick edit. There's a quick edit and voice thing to change anyway. Don't matter. So whatever.
Yeah, so now I wondered if they had that like on lock now, like okay, well, just in case it happened, we could re-release it. But it's like, well, yeah, sorry, right? But I don't know. Moving on. And best actor, no surprise, no surprise.
Yeah,
Killian Murphy,
yeah,
Oppenheimer. A clap for that. I was like, yes,
yeah.
well deserved.
Call it
Yes, 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 yes,
very
yes. Yeah,
predictable, but
called it.
you know,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
call it. Yeah,
Yes, we did. I was so happy to it because yeah, that man has been in the game for years. Like I'll never forget seeing him for the first time in 20 Days Later. That was back in like what 2002.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? And yeah, here he is right now with his award, though, and you know you have to thank the man himself, right? And I'll just pause at this point here. Yeah, the man won. You know what I mean? We called it Christopher Nolan, the OG himself,
yeah,
won Best Director for Oppenheimer.
yeah,
A clap for that
yeah,
one. I love his acceptance speech. You know, oh well, not just where he say, you know, after time a producer, you know, of my films and maturing Emma Thomas, you know what I mean, but how he always brings it to the art of film, right? And you know, him
yeah,
being having a place, you know, being a part of that too, because yeah, he's a true cinephile, though. He is serious about the art form of cinema. And that's why I admire him so much, right?
yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. You
I
had a great
mean,
point about
he
you know,
deserved
we
that.
now start. It's only 100 years.
Yes.
You know. Yeah,
Yes, I
hmm
love that. I love that. Right, but yeah, Oppenheimer won for best director. Though I was so happy.
yeah,
So, best picture.
yeah.
This is where oh my
So
gosh,
okay, so this
the
cracked
show
me
the
up, eh?
show the
With
show itself, the telecast itself took a nosedive though because
yeah,
I don't know why in 2024 we still doing this because it happened before with friggin' Moonlight, right?
yeah, boy. Oh
They
God.
bring the man himself, Al
Yeah, and you fuck
Pacino,
it up.
right? The Godfather himself, Tread.
You know.
And you're there, right? Like, okay, like when it came to Best Director, right? It was cool that Steven Spielberg showed up. I was like, yeah, that we talking about, Tread.
Okay,
OG
so
to OG.
Spielberg
I
had a
love
great.
that,
He
right?
had a surprisingly funny bit. With Kate McKinnon. That was a funny bit. That wasn't bad.
Oh yes, yes, yes. That was
Right.
great.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, when they talk about Jurassic Park or what was real,
Right. Right. Right.
and
Right.
Kate was sending nudes. She thought she was sending it to Jeff Goldblum, but it went
Right.
to
Funny bit.
Steven. It's how Steven timed it too, where he pointed himself. I love
Right.
that. That was
Exactly.
great comedic
Good.
timing. That was so
Yeah.
great.
Exactly.
Yeah, it wasn't planned, you know. It wasn't planned. You could
You could
tell. He was
tell.
just
Yeah.
like, oh,
You could
okay,
tell. And
here's
look,
the point.
people forget that Steven Spielberg, even though he don't really do comedy films, or you know him for comedy, he has good comedy talent and timing on his own. I mean, he basically created Animaniacs for us, right? So he basically gave us that, right? So yeah,
Thank
well,
you. Yes.
yeah,
Yes, yes, yes. Right. So back to Al Pacino, right? You know, OG, right? So I thought that he was just going to announce all the nominees now. And like he just see the first one and see I think just paraphrase here. I'm seeing Oppenheimer. I did like I wasn't really thinking about it there. But then it just cut to the audience and like even Nolan and all like, wait, what? You know what I mean? Like he get up and they're like, oh
right.
shit, they actually call it. You know what I mean? That was I mean the telecast, boy. They dropped the ball with that one, boy. That was I was sensing there was like another Moonlight scenario where oh you
Listen,
call one thing, but I was expecting that, you know, Al Pacino would say,
right.
oh shit, no, it's not you, it's something else. But it's like,
Exactly. I was
oh, it's
worried there
actually
because when you
Oppenheimer.
talking, you just mumbling something like, "Al Pacino, what the fuck you doing?" Like, all right,
Yeah, boy. Like, dude, how much you drank backstage? Yeah, like
for real, eh?
like no
You
disrespect.
look
Like, how
well
much were
drunk.
you drinking? Shit? Like, what was
Yeah,
that?
for real, eh?
You
Yeah,
even
but that
call out
cracked me up when I was
anybody
like, "Al
else,
Pacino,
boy.
what the hell?"
So, dog.
Yeah,
Yeah, boy. But I mean, I was happy. Yeah, I was glad that
right.
of course, I was rooted for it to win, even though I was rooting for another film. But I'll get to that in a bit. And
Right.
Emma Thomas was there, and she did the speech and all that. It was great. I was happy. I was happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as I said on Facebook, now Nolan has attained GOAT status now because it's
Yeah.
best director and
Yeah.
best film now. You
Can't
know
be
what I mean?
mad at the
So
man.
he up there with Del
As I
Toro
say,
and
but
and,
you
and
make that
Spielberg
point,
now.
eh? But you make that point earlier is that if dude did come out earlier, dude would have cook. Dude would have
Yeah,
cook. If dude did
exactly.
come
If
out earlier,
if
dude would
Dune
have
Part
probably
Two didn't
cooked.
come out,
So
boy, it would have
yes,
sweet. It would have
dude would have
sweet, right?
cooked.
Yeah,
But yeah. But he did. It's not that he didn't have no
yeah. But
competition, but he didn't have. It's not that he didn't have no competition, but to me, the movie was just everything was lined up, and I it's my favorite movie of last year. everything has come together for this film, and
Yes, it
it
was.
really feel like he time. And since people is mad since Dark Knight, you know, Dark Knight only get
Yes,
one
yes.
award, it's
Well,
like, all right,
back when it didn't get nominated back in 2009. Yeah.
exactly. So it's like, all right, come on. It's like, so you finally put yourself up there. Yeah, you get it, man.
Yeah. I happy, man. You know, as a Nolan fan, I'm happy for newbies to Nolan's work. I hope that they go back to following, not Memento, following, and really see
Right.
how he built his career. You know what I mean? I love
Yeah.
that. So to close things off, by it's only after the telecast ended, Dread, and I went, I was about to settle in to go and sleep. I realized Killers of Flower Moon didn't win anything, boy,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
feel hurt, I feel hurt,
Yeah.
boy. And I was hoping at least Lily would have won something,
It
Dre.
really
You know what I
feel.
mean?
It really feel. I can imagine
Cause
people
sorry, I mean
thinking,
Poor Things won a good amount, like about four or
yeah.
five awards. Dre. They tell me you couldn't give Killers one. You know what I mean? Not saying that the Academy will be, this could be, knock on wood, Marty's last film, so we might as well, you know what I mean? And we could
No, no, not
give
like that. But
Lily a
like,
boost, and it's not like that, but still, man, like nothing,
but
nothing.
it was a color purple kind of situation. It really feel like that. Like it really feel like a color purple kind of thing. Like way where this movie was real hard, and then nothing. It's like, all right, see.
That's a big upset though. But I mean, Marty has been in the game for years now, so I think that he is cool with it though. He accepts the nominations. I think Lily accepts the nomination as well too. And I just hope for nothing but the best in her career as well too. I do see her winning an Oscar in the near future. And I hope that this is the last Scorsese film that we do get though. But as I said before, this was going to be Nolan's year, and I'm glad that it is Nolan's
Yeah.
year, man. So yeah, you know what I mean. Not more people, hopefully, not just will check out Oppenheimer if they haven't already. But yeah, again, just go back to his previous work and previous bodies of work now, and just see the growth. You know what I mean, and how he evolved as a filmmaker, man. So as a whole, despite the couple of upsets though, um, I thought this was pretty solid though. If there's just one weak link out of all of this, of course, is the host Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel
Like,
was
look,
terrible.
he could crack jokes, but
Nah, but
oftentimes it's
yeah,
like,
you overdoing it, man.
all right, you don't need to crack this. You don't need to say anything here. I'll just say this quickly, right? So there's moments where after they finish commercials, right? He'll just tell you all this. Everybody's all right. Everybody's okay. You know what I mean? Like almost like they're sleeping. Like no, we're not
No, but
sleeping.
he's
We're
one
just
of
waiting
these.
for the
He's one of
next
these guys
friggin'
who, like,
presenter,
sorry
though.
to say it, he's one of these guys that's just. Yeah, I'm just gonna straight up say it. He's one of these guys that's leverage. He's leveraged his mediocrity off of terribleness. And what I mean by that, if it wasn't for Donald Trump, he would have been like way less popular because he like had a whole joke about Donald Trump online saying something about him. Apparently,
Yes. Which here's the thing about that. Just so quickly, I didn't pick up on what was going on because this was where all right, things were cooking. Now we waiting for the best director, best whatever it is, right? The heavy hitters, right? And he just stopped to read a tweet
by
about
Donald Trump,
somebody
right,
complaining about his performance being lackluster. But
right,
I didn't hear that it was Trump now. But it's
right,
when he respond, I didn't even catch what it is he say, and the whole audience just erupt now.
right.
Wait,
And
now, who
it's
is he
all it's all
talking about?
about
And
the
this
joke was
early in
the
the
joke
morning
was
after, it's like, oh
isn't it?
shit, he talk about Trump.
Yeah, isn't it past your jail time? It's not funny. That's a funny enough joke. But again,
Right, that was it.
that
That was it. Is the past the
that
jail time? Yeah.
but I think the whole thing is that if I hate to have a bunch of liberals like this where I have I start to grow less patient with, where you have this absolutely terrible trash person, but like if it wasn't for this trash person, I would not even cater to you. This kind of nonsense. Like he's that. And like, dude, we need somebody funnier. As I say, this year, that's my quick point about this year. So again, host was trash, but they can need a better host. Get John Mulaney or somebody. Get somebody funny. Um, but
Yeah,
uh,
and you know what? Sorry to cut you there, but we didn't really talk. Well, we didn't really mention John Mulaney, right? I
right,
forgot which category he announced for. I should look it
it
back up, right?
yeah,
But yeah, he just did this bit about Fever Dreams though, and it was just
yeah, it's funny.
is a stream of consciousness kind of thing. But just how he went
Yeah,
going though, was like what you know, what I mean, like he
yeah,
just kept going with it. No, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And it
That's
was
that's
it
how
was
his
brilliant to
that's
the
how his
point
stand
that
up
a
is.
lot of people were saying. Yeah, exactly. To the point that a lot of people were saying, dude, John Mulaney to host 97 awards,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
dude,
he was
you're
good.
right there. Yeah.
Right, that's one. But two, I do think, but this is something I've been saying for a while as a suggestion, and they seem to have leaned on this because watching like what he was doing with the structure. Yeah, they should basically replicate the Super Bowl, right? A lot of people just watch the Super Bowl and they don't like football, right? They watch it for the ads and the performance, and they should do that. They should really lead into the performance, make something that everybody will watch. That you're not watching it for the movies if you don't really give a shit about movies. You'll at least watch for the performance, and then come up with some brand new ads. Do the ads thing and sell the ad space in the same way Super Bowl is sell the ad space. I don't know if that'll work, but to me, that's what they should do. Because the reason why the Oscars are suffering is because these Oscars has always been too insular and nobody want to watch it, right? So I forget which year it was, 2, 3 years ago, it was really bad. But yeah, that's the problem. Like, to me, they should replicate the Super Bowl. Just get a funny host, get a legit funny host. Right, there's the three changes. Get a legit funny host, get rid of Jim Kimmel. You fed up him now. Uh, do the ads. So have new clever ads. So you'll watch these ads that you'll only see on the Oscars. New movies, new things. Sell out a bunch of stuff to hype up cinema or whatever it is going forward. And then I have a big performance. We need another Ryan Gosling. Do something like that. Get another really, really big performance that people are gonna watch. I don't think you'll get Usher big, but you get something on that level. Try to get something big. Be a big star. Get somebody to come and have a really big musical number, and to like that. And that's what you should do. However, that's just me.
Yeah, so while it was not the best or most perfect Oscar ceremony, it was well structured, I must say, for the most part. For the most part, I like that they actually started early and they sort of wrapped up kind of earlier. So technically, it was like about 3.5 hours. But they kind of did away with, well, I should say, with the exception of Jimmy Kimmel, they did away with like the annoying bits of humor and whatnot. The cheap shots at nominees and all that kind of stuff. I
Right.
noticed that they were like just structurally there were certain things that felt different. So, usually they would have somebody come and announce some kind of thing or present something. So, but it looked real awkward when they do it. So that's like a kind of flaw. So they had this one chick, I forgot her name, this Asian woman, and she was talking about some kind of thing related to the Oscars, right? And this was backstage, or I should say to the back, not so on the backstage, right? And this was like to the back of the stage, so to speak, right? And this was right after Billie Eilish won her award, and it was just her and Ariana Grande who had presented coming behind them now. By this, they're like she talking, she don't know that they're right behind her, but she's still talking now. And then Billie do this thing where she kind of played like she was sliding to the back by the side of her. I get it, it looked kind of funny, but it was so awkward. I was just like, now look at that plan this shit a lot better in my opinion, right? But I do like that they was trying to do new things, especially with the having the previous winners show up to talk to the newer nominees and all that kind of stuff. I thought that was pretty cool as well, right? So long story short, they try some things work, others don't, but for the most part, I had fun with it, man. I enjoy it. A majority of the winners, I praise. Just the Emma Stone one, I really do need to sit down with a little bit longer. Like I feel like I just need to rewatch poor things, and maybe if I watch it again, I'll be like, yep, she deserved that. I'm sorry, Lily, but she deserved that. But again, Lily should have won that though. Killer should have won something for God's sake, right? But all in all, though, Oppenheimer won Best Actor, Best Director,
Right.
Best Cinematography, and Best Picture. I can't be mad at that, and of course, Best Editing as well too. I can't be mad at all, right? I can't be mad at that at all. Maestro didn't win anything. Sorry, Ricardo.
Right.
But Killers, man, could
Yeah.
have win something. Anyway,
Yeah.
so if I could just
No,
rate this, because
Maestro not winning anything didn't surprise me too much. I didn't expect because it just had a competition and he was I don't know he was like it feel like too try hardy in he part. So it's like well it good but it's not great and I still liked it. It was in my top 10 for the year but like I didn't see it winning
yeah,
anything to be honest. Killers surprised me. I really thought they
yeah.
would that Latson would get through to be honest.
Yeah, and like I feel like if I watch Maestro again, I'll love it as well too, right? But yeah, I mean, holdovers win something, Anatomy of a Fall win something, so that's cool.
Right.
Zone of Interest won something as well too. Portings win like what, 4 or 5, you know what I mean? But I can't be mad, you know what I mean? But yeah, all in all, it was satisfying. It was satisfactory, right? So rated wise, because I do, I just find it funny to kind of rate these things. Um, Strong 3.5 star like format. It was worth my time. I'm actually glad that it started early and ended early than I expected. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that. Next year though, have John Mulaney host the awards,
Or
please, and
somebody, yeah. So just
yeah.
somebody funny, please. Just get somebody legit funny. Don't let these hack comedians to come true. Because earlier this year it had somebody Joe Coy or some idiot who real fuck it up. No, not last year, but it
Who-
was that talking about just earlier this year it had somebody, a guy Joe Coy. He do the Golden Globes, I think, and he was terrible.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't watch the Golden Globes at all, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, I guess that's why I didn't know. But yeah, man. I mean, like, oh gosh, man. Like 2 years in a row with Jimmy Kimmel. Okay, we get it.
yeah.
We
It's
get it.
tired of Jimmy,
Okay,
man.
all right. Like he has his own show, and even in the telecast, he was hyping up. Oh, special guest Dwayne Johnson and this person and that person. Like, all right, well, okay, all right. I still don't watch his show, no offense. But next time John Mulaney, John Mulaney or some
Right.
other, great, comedian, please, right? But yeah, this was a satisfying year, man. And again, Oppenheimer won. Nolan again, as I said before, is a goat now. So yes, we could praise his work. I just hope that he continues making great films.
Yeah.
After this window, I hope that he do like shit the bed and make crap afterwards, right? God forbid.
Right.
But yeah, any last words on the 96th Academy
No,
Awards?
yeah, it was mostly what I expected. Again, the only real surprise was the best actress. That was it. But yeah, this was pretty much mostly predictable. It ran well. Again, it feeling a little long in the tooth and a little stale because I they need to like lean into more interesting things to get other people outside the material to watch it. No. But that's about it. Those are workable awards, and I mostly watch because I watch it through the to another person's live stream, and they were funny. So that I think I enjoyed more than I would have otherwise. But yeah, that's about it.
All right, quick question. Was it YMS or was it double
No, double
toasted?
toasted, double toasted, double toasted.
Oh, not surprised, not surprised.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I should actually like look it up on the Twitch
yeah. It was good.
channel. I'll look it up. I'll look it up. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
know I'll have a blast with that. Before we part ways, as usual, Ricardo, where can people find you online?
Bora. RDM on Blue Sky. So I am changing my name from Aramedi to RDM on Blue Sky, and you can find me there. And then type in Ricardo Medina on Facebook.
All right. Ever so often, I'm on Twitter and TikTok. I was on Twitter last night, just pretty much copying and pasting all the shit that I post up on Facebook concerning the awards. So,
Okay. Oh, you
so
don't you don't link your accounts because I think when you type you don't. Okay, whatever.
Oh, I don't. I should like like, I didn't even know celebrity or whatnot, but I should actually like try that and see if it works, right? But usually I am on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. The two latter of which you'll find clips from this episode along with other episodes of BBB Radio, retrospect reviews, BS Beats and Bailey, Hip Hop Sub 10, and also you'll find links to my Fiverr gigs because I also review or I should say do written reviews of music and well, I should say albums and music videos. So stuff to look forward to. Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire,
Right.
maybe,
Oof.
maybe, but I have to hear what people say about it first because yeah,
Yeah. Whatever.
Afterlife was terrible and I'm so happy I did not see it in cinema. Surely, you know what I mean? That's
Right.
yeah, I really
Right.
want to see that.
Yeah.
Son of
Michael
the
Cherry.
Soil is going to be there. Is going
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
appearing in it. Michael Cherry. So I'm really excited to
Right.
see that. X-Men '97. We get a 2 episode series
Right.
premiere. So
Right.
I want to
Pretty
see
hyped for
that.
that.
2024's Roadhouse. You know what I mean? I want to see that as
Right.
well.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire.
Right.
Really
Okay.
excited for that. And last but not least, I have to drop this on you all, right? So exclusive, right? So later on this month, God willing, we're going to be having a special retrospect review. It's going to be a double feature. It's going to be about 2 superhero movies. The first one being from Oscar winner Guillermo del Toro. That'll be 2004's Hellboy.
Okay.
And the second one being Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Okay. Look
Hells
forward to it.
yes, I am excited as hell to cover both shows. And what I want to do for the latter film, that's Captain America, is ask the question: is it still the best MCU movie out there?
Okay.
That's a real good question to ask because we have to think about phases and just the Avengers films and where they went to and all that kind of stuff. But is Winter Soldier still the best of the MCU movies so far? You know what I mean? So that's a question that I can't wait to ask. So yeah, you can look out for that retrospect review later on this month. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. So once again, guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you're listening to this. This was Matthew Bailey,
Ricardo Medina.
and we are signing off for another episode of BBB Radio. So until the next one, take care, stay safe in and out. John Mulaney for host next year for the awards, please. I mean, 2 years of Kimmel Man. 2 years of Kimmel Man. I mean, come on. Take care. Peace.
Yeah, Seka Kim.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Sick of Kimmel Man. Jeez, right. Yeah.